we have here a wonderful group of individuals, including friends from human rights and religious freedom organizations and victims of abduction from Japan. Here to speak to us on this topic, and hopefully they'll shed some light on the severity of the situation and give us some tips on how.
My name is Yuri Higuchi. I'm a freshman here at George Washington University. I'm studying international affairs and Chinese. I'm just a general body member. Like coming to events, I thought, why can't my dad's story be spoken out?
And then when I woke up, 4 men lifting me up and bring into the one building. And when I wake up, there was just small room, 7 feet and 10 feet. And I realized only bed and toilet there. I was placed in the solitary confinement. You know solitary confinement? What I mean? It's nothing besides bed and toilet. Can you imagine?
My name is Yumi Hoshino. When I was 26 years old, just a little older than you, I was kidnapped and held against my will for 120 days. This was the worst experience of my life, and it caused me to fear other human beings. I could not go outside on my own. I even changed my name because I thought I might be kidnapped again. I know you will find this difficult to believe it, but it was my parents who kidnapped and tortured my emotionally and physically.
My name is Nanai Goto. I'm living in DC now, and I was kidnapped twice. First one is in 1987, just only 7 days. After 7 days, I could escape. But second time, I was confined a room for 3 years. But after 3 years, I could escape.
My name is Mituko Antal. I have also 2-time experience in kidnap, and one time is 1996 and 52 days, and second time is 1998 and 72 days. I'm excited to coming here, and thank you for listening and giving chance to listen to us. Thank you.
My name is Hiroshi Jimbo. I'm the first one. I also had twice, and first one was 1992. And it's, just entered 93, the second year of my college, and the second one was 97, just before graduate. Those days, my colleague and then my friends, members, so many members had the same experience. Someone already left the church. They gave up on the faith, and then someone could escape. Very few, I think, very few could escape. I could also luckily escape. The first time I escaped was I tried to pretend and try to give up my faith, and then try to convince my parents, and they believe on me, so they released me. That time they thought I gave up my faith, so my parents give me some thick envelope to the so-called faith breaker, the Christian minister. Of course, that's not a $1 billion bill, the most expensive bill, thick envelope. So I think that many cases the money involved. I wouldn't be too long, so maybe someone's busy. So yeah, that's it for me.
We have Ms. Ichiko Sudo here today. She is the executive advisor of Survivors Against Forced Exit, the advisory board representative on human rights and women's dignity for the Women's Federation for World Peace, and the director of the Religious Liberty Committee. So she's going to tell us a bit about the current situation in Japan.
Yes, I'm here to talk about faith breaking of members of the Unification Church in Japan. And I just want to start out with what is faith breaking, because most people have never heard of this before. Essentially, if you boil it down to the very, very basics, it's one person telling another person, I do not agree with what you believe in, and I'm going to force you to change your mind. That's what it boils down to, sort of in my very layman's terms. So thousands of young Japanese college students and young people in their 20s, mostly women, are being kidnapped and held against their will in private prisons in Japan for months and years. And during their confinements, they're abused, physically abused, emotionally abused, some cases starved, tortured, and even raped in order to change their religion. And unbelievably, like you've been hearing, it's their parents who are committing these illegal acts.
Mr. Dan Pfefferman from the International Coalition for Religious Freedom. He's a human rights activist, and he's going to give us a little background on the legal dimension of the situation.
My organization, the International Coalition for Religious Freedom, works for religious freedom for all people. And I first became aware of this problem in 1997 when we held a series of international religious freedom conferences, and I was approached by people from Japan who explained to me that this was going on there. I knew that some of this was going on there, but I was unaware of the extreme numbers and intensity of the problem. And so we've been working on it since then. And I'd like to approach this problem more from a standpoint of international law and possible things that can be done to rectify.
So I just want to thank everyone for coming out to our event today. Thank you to all of our speakers and to the survivors for coming and supporting us and sharing their stories. And I hope you guys enjoyed the event and took away something from it.